Be honest, who's walking who? If every walk starts with your shoulder getting yanked out of its socket, if you've tried the tips, the gadgets, maybe even the trainer on the corner who told you to show him who's boss, and your dog still drags you down the street like a sled, this video is for you. Leash pulling has a real fix. Not a hack, not a miracle collar, a 7-day plan built on the one thing nobody tells you. Your dog pulls because pulling has worked every single day of its life. We're going to shut that down, without pain, without yanking, and without turning your walks into a battle. The why, the gear, and the day-by-day plan, including what to do on day one tonight. Let's fix it. Diagnosis first. Your dog doesn't pull to dominate you, doesn't pull out of spite, and isn't broken. Your dog pulls for two boring mechanical reasons. Reason one, pulling works. Think about it from the dog side. Every time the leash goes tight and you take one more step forward, the pulling just got paid. The park got closer, the fire hydrant got closer. Your dog has run that experiment thousands of times, and the data is unanimous. Pulling moves the world. Reason two, you're slow. A comfortable walking pace for a dog is roughly twice yours, and the world at nose level is the most interesting thing in your dog's entire day. So we've got a fast, excited animal attached to a slow human in an environment where tight leash equals progress. Of course it pulls, which means the fix isn't strength and it isn't punishment. The fix is changing the math. From today, a tight leash never moves the world again, and a loose leash pays like a slot machine. One commitment before the plan, because this is where everyone else fails. For the next 7 days, there are only two kinds of walks. Short training walks, where the rules apply 100% of the time, and sniff walks on a long line, where your dog gets to be a dog, and I'll show you exactly how those work. What's canceled this week is the third kind. The rushed, distracted, phone-in-hand walk where the leash goes tight and you keep moving because you're late. One of those undoes a whole day of training because it teaches your dog the rules only apply sometimes. 7 days of consistency. Everyone in the house plays by the same rules. That's the price. It's cheaper than a decade of sore shoulders. The toolkit, 3 pieces, all linked below. Piece 1, the big one, a front clip harness. The leash attaches at the chest, not the back. Here's why that matters. Clip on the back and you've built a sled harness. Dogs literally lean into it. It's the opposition reflex, the same instinct that makes huskies pull sleds. Clip on the chest and the geometry flips. When the dog surges, its own momentum turns it gently back toward you. No pain, no pressure on the throat, just physics quietly working for you instead of against you. Fit check. Snug enough for 2 fingers under every strap, and it shouldn't rub behind the front legs. Piece 2, a plain 6-foot leash. Not retractable, we'll get to that disaster in a minute. Piece 3, a treat pouch on your hip loaded with something your dog would sell you for. Not the dry biscuits from the cupboard, cheese, chicken, freeze-dried liver. You're rewiring a habit your dog has practiced for years. Pay accordingly. And piece 4 for the sniff walks, a 10 to 15 foot long line. Total damage for all of it, maybe $70, less than one session with that show him who's boss guy. Days 1 and 2, and here's the twist. You're not going for a walk, you're playing a game in the most boring place you have, the backyard, the driveway, a quiet hallway. Because you can't teach calculus in a casino, and to your dog, the street is a casino. The game, leash on, treats loaded, and you just walk around the boring space. Every time your dog happens to be beside your leg on a loose leash, mark it with a cheerful yes, and pay at your seam, right at your pant leg. Not in front of you, at your side. You're building a magnet zone. Good things happen next to the human's left leg. 10 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day. If the leash goes tight even here, you become a tree, stop dead, silent, boring, and the instant the leash slackens, yes, pay, move again. 2 days of this and your dog has learned the entire system in miniature. Tight leash stops the world. Loose leash pays. Now we take the show outside. Days 3 and 4. The sidewalk. With 2 rules that do all the work. Rule 1, the tree. Leash goes tight, you stop. Completely. No leash pop, no heel, no dragging back. Yanking back actually triggers that opposition reflex and makes dogs pull harder, which is why everything you tried before didn't work. You just stop and you wait. The second that leash slackens, even because your dog turned to see why the human broke down, yes, pay at the seam, walk on. Rule 2, the turn. If your dog is locked onto something ahead and the tree isn't cutting it, say your dog's name, turn 180, and walk the other way, paying the moment the dog catches up to your seam. You're not punishing, you're demonstrating over and over that the fastest route to anything interesting is a loose leash next to you. Fair warning, day 3 is slow. You might make it half a block in 15 minutes and feel like an idiot standing there. Stand there anyway. Every stop is a rep, and the reps compound fast. Most dogs are noticeably lighter on the leash by the end of day 4. Days 5 through 7, you proof it. Same rules, harder places. The busier street, walking past the park instead of into it. That one house with the fence line terrier. Distance is your difficulty dial. If your dog can't hold a loose leash 30 feet from the distraction, work at 50 feet and move in as the dog succeeds. And now add the best kept secret in leash training, the sniff release. When your dog gives you a stretch of beautiful loose leash walking, mark it, then sweep your arm at that irresistible bush and say, "Go sniff." Sniffing is dog currency, often better than food. You've just turned the environment itself into the paycheck, which means your dog stops seeing you as the thing blocking the world and starts seeing you as the doorman who opens it. That's the moment walks change forever. Now, the other half of the system, and skip this and the whole plan wobbles, the decompression walk. 2 or 3 times this week, take that long line to a field, a quiet trail, an empty ball diamond, clip it to the harness, and let your dog just be a dog. Sniff everything, zigzag, follow scent trails, no rules except don't tow me. 20 minutes of real sniffing tires a dog out more than an hour of marching because scent work is cognitive work. And here's why it matters for pulling. A dog whose sniffing tank is full doesn't have to fight you for every fire hydrant on the training walk. You're not being soft, you're draining the pressure that causes the pulling in the first place. Structure on the short leash, freedom on the long one. Dogs that get both stop needing to steal either. The not-to-do list, quick and blunt. Don't yank back, opposition reflex makes it worse, you know this now. Don't use a retractable leash, this week or honestly ever. It pays pulling by design, pull harder, get more cord. It teaches the exact opposite of everything in this plan, and the thin cord is a genuine injury hazard for both of you. Don't reach for prong collars, choke chains, or anything that works by hurting the throat. Yes, they can suppress pulling, the way a toothache suppresses your appetite. On this channel, we fix causes, and pain doesn't teach loose leash, it teaches that walks hurt. And the sneaky one, don't let the rules split. If you're a tree and your partner is a sled, the dog doesn't learn the rule, it learns the human. Everyone walks the dog the same way this week, or nobody's really training it. Gear recap. Buy a well-fitted front clip harness. The exact ones I trust are in the storefront, including the one that survives big, strong dogs. A plain 6-foot leash. A 10 to 15-foot long line for decompression days. A treat pouch, and treats worth working for. Roughly $70, one time, and every piece still gets used years from now. Skip the retractable for everything I just said. The prong and the choke because we don't rent obedience with pain. And that whole shelf of stops pulling instantly gadgets, the ones with straps that tighten around the muzzle or squeeze the chest when the dog pulls. If a product's entire mechanism is discomfort, it's a skip. The $70 kit plus 7 days of the plan beats every shortcut on that shelf because it's the only option that changes what your dog wants to do. The whole plan on one hand, change the math so pulling never pays, front clip harness, 2 days of the yard game, 2 days of tree and turn on real streets, 3 days of proofing with the sniff release, and decompression walks running underneath it all. Give it the full 7 days before you judge it. Day 3 feels slow and day 6 feels like a different dog. Everything's linked below, the kit in the storefront and the written day-by-day plan on the site. If your dog also loses its mind when it sees another dog on the leash, that's reactivity, that's a different fix, and that video is coming. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Drop your dog's name and your worst pulling story in the comments. The best, "my dog dragged me into a lake" story gets pinned. I'm the dog fixer. Consider it fixed.